Yo, Tuesday night, Dynasty Daddy trade show. We're hitting the heart of the season, man. The buys are really, we're starting to feel them, making the moves. Jeremy, how you doing?
I know it's we're right in the middle now, so now we kind of know if you're legit or not. I do want to start off the show with just giving you a moment
Oh,
because I don't know if you were aware,
mm.
but the two guys on the screen last weekend played 3 times in 3 different fantasy leagues, and Will went 0-3.
It happens. Um, wait, which dude, wait, we played each other where?
It was in I think Bravo,
All right.
Alpha, and the I think the Demon Dynasty
Oh,
Demons or
okay.
whatever,
All
the
right.
orphan
Yeah.
that you took
This
over.
is sad because you actually are doing the saddest part is your team name in Dynasty Daddy or in the Demon Time is bye week and beat me 130-94. I'm actually super mad about the Alpha Daddy one because you trade away Jacobs. Like I'm like finally he's like moving off some of these contending pieces, and then you're AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. Oh man,
It,
it's
it, it
brutal.
finally happened. I should have kept Jacobs. I'd be a contender now.
I've had the most this week was the most zeros I've had from players like active and playing. Like I've had like the Darren
Mhm.
Waller zeros, the Mike Evans zeros, the Jameson Williams zeros. It's brutal, man. But it happens. You actually honestly in Dynasty Demon Time, you and the New York Jets might have put me into tanking for the rest of the season with Justin Fields QB2 and Bryce Young hurt. It might be time to pack it up. So
Starting Justin Fields will do that to someone.
sell my AJ Brown. I just wanted some. I wish he could have just gone out with some fantasy points, man. Like four points against the Panthers, and that's how he's riding off into the sunset. But no, it's okay. I thought honestly, I thought you were gonna do the Travis Hunter breakout, and I was getting excited. There was a little twinkle in my eye that
I
we were
know
gonna
there's a
talk
little bait and
about.
switch. I
Finally
know
had
you could talk. I mean,
we
yeah. I mean, you bought land on Travis Hunter Island when it was very popular, and then everyone left because it was in a hurricane zone,
and I held the bag.
Maybe, it's actually gonna hit.
I think it's an interesting conversation, and we'll get to the trades. Don't worry. And also, YouTube viewers later, you're watching this right now. Listen to us yap. You know, you're ready for us to start clicking on these trades, talking through them. I want to make sure that we hit some of these thumbnails because I remember the commenters that say was really hoping you would talk about Odunze was on a thumbnail. We didn't talk about him much in that stream. You know, oh, Josh Downs, we didn't talk about him much in the stream. And I think there's some interesting guys on the thumbnail. We got Rashee Rice, Rondé Gadsden, obviously the big Chargers breakouts. So let's tight in one. Let's get into it. And I'm sure at some point we'll break down the Travis Hunter mini victory lap. I don't want to go too crazy, but I will say the coach speak after the mini garbage time breakout second half is very positive. I'm feeling pretty good. So, but we'll say that for later.
We love a garbage time breakout.
We do. Love to hear what's up, Kondranos. Love to hear where you're pushing Rice in your rankings after a monster game on what appeared to be a somewhat limited showing with his snap percentage. And I will say the route stuff. Like, I don't know if you see those route charts that kind of circle around, like the next gen stats ones. I really like checking those out. Was like really short area stuff, which is honestly, I mean, that's going to be a lot of Rice's game. I think that will expand. He'll be a big, I mean, we talked about it, I think last week, that he is just kind of like an extension of the run game. I'm not going to be too, like, first game back. Also, they destroyed, like, what they have. Mahomes played 6 drives, scored on 5 of them, and then sat for like most of the fourth or the half part of the fourth quarter. I'm not going to read too much into snap stuff. First game back for Rice. I'm not worried about that at all, but I think we get into it. Let's pull up the fantasy rankings on Dynasty Daddy. I want to give you some names. Let's see. Right here, keep trade cut. We've got Rice right behind Garrett Wilson, right in front of McConkey. Wide receiver 15. I know you're not a big Wilson guy. I think it's a little bit tough with the injury as well. It sounds like Wilson might be back and maybe gets a little quarterback upgrade with Taylor. There might be some hopium there. Has the long-term contract. Wilson or Rice?
I just trust Rice because he's tied to Patrick Mahomes, who looks like he's airing the ball out more, and Rice really is kind of the guy that's supposed to usurp the short A-dot passes that Travis Kelce really dominated at. And obviously Kelsey's lost a step because he's like 500 years old now.
Yeah.
So we don't expect him to have 14 targets a game. But Rashee Rice is going to be someone that probably takes a lot of that work and opens up some extra work for Kelce. And just since that offense with Andy Reid, with Mahomes, is probably going to have a way more efficient passing game than Tyrod Taylor or whatever quarterback is playing there next year, or whatever coach is coaching there next year, it's hard not to just say, hey, man, like, I believe in the talent of Garrett Wilson, but again, his situation stinks, and I've never seen the Jets do well. Yeah. And unless if they find their own version of, Dan Campbell, to turn around a historically terrible franchise.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
They're
going to
be the Browns. Man. They're going to be the Jets. So I'm just going to say, let me stick with Rashee Rice. I trust that the opportunities are going to be much more fruitful than a team that's like, I have no idea who's playing quarterback.
Yeah. And I don't want to pivot at right now and talk about Gadsden, because I'm sure we'll have some Gadsden trade questions. I think I see one right now that we'll talk to, but that's kind of the Gadsden thing too. And I think a lot of times in Dynasty, like when you have similar tier ranges of players, for me, the like contending switch turns on. And it's like kind of why I'm more willing to buy Gadsden, or at least like buy him at his prices currently, because regardless of how you feel about like the Dynasty value aspect of it, like I want to be tied to offenses that I think are going to be efficient passing offenses. Like especially compared to Garrett Wilson too. Like we check the box scores. One of these teams threw for 140 passing yards. Like it's not going to be the Chiefs, man. Like it's going to be the Jets, and like consolidated target share for sure. But like upside, they were trying to get this guy touchdowns too. So everyone wearing the free Rice shirts.
Honestly, that kind of is, I guess, the one concerning thing to me is a lot of the targets and usage were kind of like scripted. Like, and I know the Chiefs can get kind of cutesy with how they deploy some schemes where they're like, this is an important game for this player, so we're going to make sure he gets extra touches. But I guess my question to you is like, realistically, how high do you think Rashee Rice will get?
Yeah, I would not.
Because everyone is starting to get steamed up, and I can see him going a lot higher than he currently is.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think the conversation that I would start to raise an eyebrow at would be like the pushing top 10, like in front of Drake London. So I think you could have the conversation. Like I like all these guys. I mean, BTJ, especially with the injury stuff, like Nico has a concussion. Like these are difficult conversations with players that might be missing the next week. With BTJ and Nico, but and Garrett Wilson. But yeah, I think the Rome Odunze I still like. I think they're all in a similar range for me. I don't know if I would want to push him higher than London Egbuka, especially with the Evans injury. I don't think he's pushing top 7 even after monster first week, just with what I know and am confident in the names above. So I think I would have no issues with him being in top 10 and right next to Rome, but I don't think I'd push him higher than London even after disappointing splits with Mooney. I know that's like the big thing I've seen circling X is like the Drake London splits with Mooney.
Drake London with Mooney, without Mooney.
But I still am a believer.
He was rank 8 on Keep Trade Cut last year, pre-injury.
Mm-hmm.
Based on his position. So like,
and it's not going to take much for him to get back to that. Like he does another week like this, and maybe it's not 2 touchdowns, but it's 1 score or no scores, but the yardage and receptions, and it's like, he goes 8 for 90. That's he's going to be right there with London for sure. Would you push him higher than that, and we can move on to the next one, or are you in a similar range with me that these are kind of all similar tiered players? But I think the contending part is big. So like when you're talking about him versus like Tet McMillan, who I love and I'm sure you love as well, like Dynasty asset, I think he's a stud. But as far as like scoring opportunities, upside smash games, what I want from my contending pieces when I'm paying the Dynasty price for these guys, like I'd much rather pay for Rice for my contending teams than McMillan right now.
I think if he keeps doing what he's doing, I didn't realize how high JSN got. But it makes sense.
Deservedly.
I think the peak is probably wide receiver 6, if I'm being very bullish on him.
Yeah.
Just because with CeeDee, I can just see that injury lingering a bit to where like his usage isn't crazy for a while. And if Rice's, like Rice's usage continues, Egbuka should continue to absolutely crush it. So it'd be hard for me to really think he gets above Egbuka, but Neighbors probably will continue to fall if Egbuka or honestly Rice continue to break out.
Yeah.
But with Ibuka's lingering injury, it's like, how long is that going to really kind of hamper his usage? Like, are we going to see the early wide receiver 4 overall type production? I don't know. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, Drake London puts up some stinkers. Like, if Rice is just like a consistent 20 points a week or so, and I know last week he did have 2 touchdowns, but if he's a consistent level of pointage scoring, I could see him kind of pushing those guys that do have that hype, like the Tets and the Egbuka, but might not be producing down the stretch.
How much? Last Rice question. Let's say you're. I don't know how common this is going to be for teams that are like really contending while still holding out of Neighbors. Like maybe they were filling in the gaps elsewhere and like still are in a position where they want to contend, but still are holding out of that Neighbors. Would you trade Neighbors? Like how much would you add on, or need to have the plus on the Rice side to trade away Neighbors for Rice?
I mean, I feel like if I get a second, I would take like just Rice in a second. I feel like I'm fine taking that. And I think that's something I tried to vocalize. I don't know if I said it in the exact words, but I'm like the tier, and I certainly didn't cut it off at the right ranges. But the tier of elite wide receiver changes very quick if we have players break out. If we have the JSN insane usage, and you're like, oh my God, like this is sustainable, having like a 40% target share or whatever, then all of a sudden you can see guys really just shoot up rankings. And that's one of those things where it's like, it's hard to do, but when you kind of get one of those pukas or you get someone that cracks that wide receiver 1 threshold, if you can tier down to trade from, wide receiver, like if you can go from Jamar Chase to CeeDee Lamb and get a good plus, it's probably a decent bet because the reality is they're going to probably finish rather similarly because the situation's changed, like quarterback injuries, they can get injured. Mm-hmm. So for me to say, hey, an injured Neighbors or instant production now, and I get some sort of plus, that's not just like a 4th or something. Yeah, like I probably just take a second and be like, sick. I got some extra value on a player that won't score any points. He'll score less points than Justin Fields did last week for the rest of the season. So I probably just take it, given that if I'm trying to score points, he's going to give me that, and I get the extra second.
Okay, what's up, Sean? What's up, Sean? Next up here, subtitle Chip. Good evening, gents. I'm at a piano recital. Nice, good to know. I'm a heavy contending team, 13-1. Is moving Saquon a legitimate strategy, or should I just wait for him to right the ship? Bijan and JT are my other RBs. Yeah, the Saquon conversation I think is going to be a different can of worms, but I will say that these like heavy contenders where you're 13-1 and like, I mean, you are happily starting Bijan and JT over Saquon, and I assume you have similar enough production contending assets if you're 13-1 right now with what Saquon's been doing that you'd be comfortable moving off Saquon. So this is like a thing. I know a lot of teams, when you have these strong contenders, it feels weird to trade away, like, I mean, Saquon's not doing it right now, but what feels like could be a smash piece for a contender. Like that feels weird. It's like, why would I give that to another team? Like then they could have the breakout contending piece playing against me. But like the variables of Dynasty, man, the mystery that is the fantasy playoffs, like getting the flexibility is much more important than hoarding all of the contending assets and, trading away all your firsts and seconds to make sure that you're hoarding every single contending piece away from other teams. So I definitely think it's a legitimate strat. The tough thing is, man, who's buying Saquon right now? Like that team just cannot run the ball. He's involved in the passing game, but I don't know, man.
Like, what are you getting?
Yeah.
Okay, if I would are you getting a first? Like a first plus? Getting a late first?
I mean, I'd move Saquon for a first in most cases where I am like comfortable around him. But I don't know if are you getting that? Like don't people want to be using their first elsewhere? Like wouldn't somebody just rather use their first on a Scattaboo where it's like I get the Dynasty upside?
Yeah, you get the Dynasty like kind of locked in value. or like even CMC. I mean, I had trouble shipping CMC, and he's dropping 40 burgers on people, and it's like, it's like, well, he's old. Like that's what you always hear. It's like he's old, and I'm like, yes, but like,
it's like give me
he's
Jacobs,
giving you
give me
insane production.
CMC.
Yeah, like, and then you're like, well, Barkley's old, but he's giving me 9 points a game, and I don't really know. I'm not surprised the passing offenses looks weird. That usually kind of takes a little bit of time to get going. It's weird that their rushing game is off, and I don't know if it's just like,
hey, I think it's
they're loading up the box and just saying, hey, we dare you to throw on us. But
yeah, I think it's mostly O-line related would be my like, but I mean he's more involved like passing game wise, which is like you'd think that would supplement, but we're just not seeing it. And that's kind of the thing too. Like I'd be curious, Chip, if you have any, I mean, I know you're at this piano recital, but if you have any inkling as to what you would be getting for Saquon, like flexibility pick wise, I'd be curious to know. Cause I've not really seen Saquon moved, like I said, I feel like people that are contending, it's like, yeah, hey, what's the Saquon price? And people are like, it's last year's Saquon price. It's like, hell no, I'm not going to pay
that's the issue.
A first plus for that.
They remember.
Check the box scores, brother.
Saquon. They remember
the tush push is still legal.
Like ripping it.
What's up, Big Diaz? Sorry I had to in the Charlie Daddy League, but I needed it real bad. You have my first, so it was needed. What's up, Patty Mills? NBA kickoff tonight.
Big Diaz like that.
No, I had to. Also, I'm not going to do the like victory lap of my trade looking really good of like Judkins smashing with the 3 touchdown to a sucks game, the Rashee Rice first game back smashing, Garrett Wilson getting hurt. Like it's a bit of pretty lucky. Tucker Kraft 10 targets, but no, because I think a lot of that stuff is not going to hold season long, but had to mention it.
Yeah, that's what happened with my Scott Fishbowl team. I ran into a Judkins Kraft.
Oh, dang. I didn't ask for the follow-up.
We're out of top 10. We're at 13, I think now.
Okay, 13 is still sick.
Performance.
Yeah, we'll do we'll do the weekly check-ins, even if it's sad.
It's a quick one. It's a quick one.
13's still solid though. A lot of ball to be left. A lot of Rico Dowdle takeover to happen there.
I need Hampton and Bucky to come back.
There you go. Obi-Wan Jacoby. So did the Chargers and the Bucks. Shout out to my Lions.
That's true.
Benson or Gadsden. Dynasty.
I think we're on the same page here.
Yeah. I mean, what is the like no tight end premium? Is there any part of you that's like, give me the like running back upside versus tight end upside? Tight ends, hashtag tight ends don't matter. And while I ask you that, and you're thinking about it, I do have one Gadsden trade I made. And it is a weird league. It's my home league. Shout out to Alex. Made this trade with him. 12 team start 9. Super shallow. No tight end premium at all. Also, we have kickers unrelated to the trade. It's a home. I feel like that's classic home league dynasty to have kickers,
Classic home league.
I know I have Boswell, and it's like, I don't want to drop this guy, but I don't want to drop a dynasty bench player to have 2 kickers on my roster.
Yeah.
And actually, Kevin, Brashard Smith was a part of this trade. I see liking Brashard Smith, anyone. And I like him as well, and I didn't want to trade him away, but shout out to Alex. He is a smart dynasty manager, and I'm not going to get to pull a fast one over on him. He had Gadsden. Tight end room's hurting. Going to be fully transparent. Was counting on Darren Waller, helping me a lot this year. And I wanted to make the Gadsden bet. Don't have a lot of Gadsden.
You saw the mixtape.
I saw the mixtape. And I saw the pectoral injury, and I was like, oh, here we go. No, all right. Gadsden for Brashard Smith and a second, and Jacoby Brissett in a 12-team start 9, no tight end premium. And I think it's a pretty good trade for him to get the like upside bet of Brashard Smith. It is super shallow, so like the Brashard Smith hitting is like Jerick McKinnon. Is that the best case scenario? The second round pick, I think that's about like second round and a fun dynasty player, I think is like the Gadsden price you at least have to come to right now in no tight end premium. But to me, I'm kind of taking it as, let's make this bet. If I'm going to bet on a dynasty tight end breakout, let it be the hyper athletic former wide receiver that's massive and is catching passes from Justin Herbert in a team that can't run the ball right now. And I will say this the Gadsden stuff, it's not check downs, it's not, it's some like 3-4 yard tight end stuff, but dude, he is running down the field, hitting seams. Herbert's giving him the chance. Stuff.
He looked good.
Looks good, dude.
The one
2 weeks in a row.
I guess the one concern
70% plus snap route share.
Is like there's so many good pass catchers in that offense.
Yeah.
It's like, are they going to have to pass the ball so much? And like, even if Gadsden is good, it's like, oh, well, they still have Keenan Allen and they have Ladd and they have QJ and they then they have Hampton when he comes back. And there's just so many different mouths. So it's like, you're kind of being like, maybe it's this week, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But that being said, the coach speak is very optimistic. The production is looking crazy for,
whenever you break an Antonio Gates record, the Chargers playing from behind, I think 55 pass attempts for Justin Herbert. Like, these games aren't going to happen all the time. Like, obviously everyone hit basically for the Chargers offense. Like, even QJ who had a bad game had a touchdown. So I think my thing is, when I'm making these kind of like, and yes, tight ends don't matter, but if I can choose and pick my spots, I want it to be these offenses where like these spike weeks are possible. So like Gadsden is not going to be a 90 yard and a touchdown guy consistently at all. But if I have to make a bet on a tight end to have that, it's going to be Gadsden versus, and I love Fannin, but how often are we going to get that in the Browns offense? I love Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet injury, but
Jonnu Smith.
It's going to take some time. Yeah, Pat Freiermuth. Dude, I ran into some Pat Freiermuth. I can't believe the amount of Pat Freiermuth I played against after what he's done up to this point in the season.
I literally I cut him the night of. I cut him halfway through the game, and then he just like went berserk.
Insane. Especially these big play bonus leagues. That was hurting. Not expecting to get big play bonused by Pat Freiermuth in 2025, but here we are. But I don't know. What do you think? Real quick, I want to get your quick W or L, because it is no tight end premium. So I do think there is some merit to, like, even if like it's
there's merit to Benson. The issue with Benson is I just don't think he is more than like what we've really seen. Yeah, like I think if he was like a Bucky Irving type, like waiting for a huge breakout, we probably would have seen it already. Especially with the injuries to Connor and stuff like that. Like, he just hasn't looked amazing. And to me, I'm sitting here and I'm like, Gadsden has had crazy usage. He's basically won out against vets like Disley and stuff, which aren't amazing, but certainly they bounce around and have a role on pretty much every team.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks the upside is I hit on an insane tight end value that is borderline like the next Puka Nacua hype prospect, like insane. How many guys get 10 targets as a rookie, late round rookie pick tight end?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's ridiculous.
And it's like, it's so much different than like what we saw with Dalton Schultz with the Texans, Monday night.
Yeah.
Like that, those like 8 or 9 targets he got.
Yeah.
Those
and a little check down, like low A dot. Like, he was making big plays in like,
yeah, he's doing some good
yak
stuff, but yeah. No.
But I think the downside is like, okay, what if it was a fluke? Well, I can just probably sell him in 3 weeks, and someone else will buy the hype of, oh my gosh, he had 10 targets that one game.
Yeah,
like I think it's something where it's like
2 straight weeks,
would rather buy. Yeah, like I would rather buy like the Puka Nacua for a second, and then have him not turn into the next Puka Nacua, and then sell him in 3 weeks, versus being like, nah, I'm gonna hold on to like my Cardinals handcuff running back that's like a measly 8 to 10 points a game.
Yeah.
Like, no, like let me get the crazy upside, and then maybe I never have to deal with it. Like, worry about tight end again, because I have a dude that's just a walking 8 targets and 80 yards a game.
Mm-hmm. And what I do, like my trade specifically, and I think in most cases where I'm trying to like, and everyone will do the like, oh, you should have bought him 2 weeks ago. It's like, okay, like Dynasty is like an ever moving game. Like it is totally fine to pay the price for players after their price raises. Like the thumbnail of this video was buy high ? Sell low ? With Tua and Treyvion Henderson. Those are less fun to talk about, but I see some Henderson questions we'll get to in a second. But
well, I mean, it's like people being like, "Oh, like don't buy Nvidia at all-time highs like 2 years ago." It's
right.
like, well, if you did, you would have like quadrupled your money. So,
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of room for Gadsden to really grow in terms of value, and that's why if I can get a price, if I can get in like that now, like sure, let me do that. Let me explore that.
And what I want to do, and like, I mean, hey, I've been rug cooled before, but like for me in that league specifically that I talked about with my trade, like I am buying Gadsden, not like, all right, I think this is like a good like stock raise price potential. I'm like, let me buy this guy. Like this is my tight end rest of the season. And like, if he's sticking with this like 70-80% route stuff, like sure, I'm going to get some 3 for 30 games, but like, I think he's got 6 for 80 in a score in the bag with this Chargers offense. It's going to be inconsistent, but look around the league at tight end. If you're not, I was going to say Trey McBride and Brock Bowers, but the injury stuff, I was going to say George Kittle too, but come back from the injury. And like some of those names are going to turn into like, these are going to be, 5 for 50 in a score guys consistently. But man, that position, it's hurting. So why not make the bet? All right. Made this trade 3 weeks ago. Grayson, what's up? Traded JSN, got Herbert, Rice, and an early to mid second. Ooh, do we want to do? I mean, like Superflex is an obvious smash, even though I love JSN. Or at least I think it's an obvious
crazy
smash.
to be like, I traded away
But I love JSN.
considering JSN is like on an all-time heater right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Herbert, Rice.
So like single QB, we probably would do the how much does Herbert matter in a single QB? Like if it's, whatever, 12 team, start 10, like Rice in a second feels worse. Like if you're not getting difference making production from Herbert, you'd probably rather have the projection of like JSN being wide receiver 1 this season. But yeah, I think it's a smash in Superflex.
Yeah, I agree.
Tyler, I'm a rebuilding team at a 10-team start 8. I have 2 firsts in 26 and 27. Would you trade a 26 first and Addison for Treyvion Henderson and Pittman? No. I would not. I do understand I want to acquire Henderson on a rebuilding team, but why do I have to pay rookie draft prices for him right now? Like a first and Addison for Henderson and Pittman is rookie draft prices.
Yeah, I mean, that's like rookie draft hype train prices of like a first plus. Because Addison's worth more than Pittman.
And I understand the like Pittman Addison fear of like, they go back to JJ McCarthy once he's back off the injury. He's not gonna be getting 9 for 100 in these games.
Carson Wentz, baby.
But dude, Addison's good, man. And like I like Pittman also, but this was also a no Josh Downs game. And like the team wants to run. I mean, it's an awesome team and I like Pittman and he's gonna have these games, but wants to go through JT, obviously wants to go through Tyler Warren. We'll have Josh Downs back. So like getting that much older at wide receiver on a rebuilding team and having to move one of your firsts for a running back, like, dude, you can use that first in so many different ways than having to also make that
running
Henderson
back
bet.
That's getting outsnapped by what Tyrell.
Dude, he lost. What was it? The 8-minute roll or whatever. Vrabel, did you see that in the like walking back to the locker room? He's like, we found our 6-minute back or something.
So you're definitely not trading any first, like a late first for Henderson right now.
I'm not. And I like Henderson. And I do think there's some merit to like I think objectively he has not looked what people thought he was going to look like. Like I don't think anything of what we've seen like in games, other than you go back to the preseason footage, like anything during the regular season, he has not looked like what we expected. Now, I do think there is some merit to like they're not using him correctly. You can't just jam this guy up the middle. Like I want to see him out in space, like give him a game with 13 touches and see what he does. Like you got to give him opportunities. But like, when are you expecting this to change this season at all? And what is it going to look like if it doesn't? And heading into next season, maybe it's not going to be like a first 3-round running back, but they add someone in free agency or whatever. Like think about what that's going to do to his dynasty value. And they still have Ramondre
comes back.
Yeah. So
I guess my point is like, how many more of these weeks do you think like you're sending like a second plus like a random like Chargers in a second? Like when are you like if you have Henderson right now, Like if someone's like, "Oh, I'll give you 2 seconds for him," you're like, I might hold. Like I don't want to overreact.
Yeah, the
But at
draft
like what
capital
point
is
are
the
you like,
one thing that
let
you
me just
can.
re-roll?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because the draft capital is the one thing you can hold on to in these situations where you're like, at some point, they are going to be like, we spent a second round pick on this guy. Like, we are gonna see what we have in him. I expected it to be a lot sooner than right now, but like Patriots are winning games. Ramondre is like, yes, he's fumbling, but like Vrabel, every press conference is like, he's an important part of this team. Like anytime they bring up the fumble stuff or anything, like Ramondre's important to us. So to me, it's like these specific deals where you are like trading away something like a first in Addison to get Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why does it have to be Henderson? Even if you like Henderson, why does it have to be him? Like, and I'm not even talking about running backs don't matter kind of thing. And like, you don't want to trade for them on a rebuilding team unless you're getting them really low. I just am like, why does it have to be Henderson type beat? Greetings, fellas. What's up, Tattoo Man? Woody's roundup. Are we at all nervous about how bad Houston is looking? Looked like Woody was getting swallowed up. Pause. Every rush, the line is abysmal, it appears. It does appear. Feels the late touchdown saved him fantasy-wise. Yeah, man, I'm getting spooked for my Nico, man. Not even the concussion stuff. There's just like so many. He just looks so good. I don't know if you've seen some of these. Like this last game, there was one that was terrible. And Nico's like the first read, man. And it's a part on the offensive line. I think it's a part on Stroud too. But yeah, this just might be sad. Sad Houston year.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like the fear of what that offense would be, and it's like, wait a minute, like even if Tunsil was like a bad locker room guy,
Bad egg.
it's like, okay, let's trade him away and have him ruin our entire offense and get our quarterback injured and not be able to establish a run game. And I'm like what was the plan here? You know, like I'm okay with you saying, hey, let's reshape our offensive line. Sure. You trade him away, sure. But you obviously don't have any plan to resolve it. And I mean, that being said, Seattle has a really good defensive line, especially interior defensive line. But it's still like, I mean, this offense is miserable. I'm not really panicking on Woody because the fact that Woody's getting good run currently, even though it's not amazing, even though the O-line sucks, even though the offense sucks, the fact that he's just getting on the field and getting touches as a fourth-round rookie is a good sign to me that once they do start addressing these issues, like in the draft or such, that Woody will certainly be someone that I feel fine rolling with next year in the years, going forward. And if I'm desperation starting him like I did, I think I did it in one league, I know. Yeah, like it's okay. But it's definitely not like we're not going to see him become, the Cam Scadaboos where you're like, oh, sick. I could just roll with Cam Scadaboo every week. It's, he's probably going to be a slower burn in terms of production just because that offensive line is not there, not good enough to actually support a productive fantasy football running back.
Yeah, and Seattle, like I think Seattle's defense is like one of the better units in the league. But
oh yeah, it's really good.
That doesn't change much about how Houston's like this season. So I don't know how much I want to put into that. But yo, what's up, Kyle? What are your thoughts on Swifty and Henderson for Hampton? So DeAndre Swift and Henderson for Hampton. This is
my guy. This is my guy.
It's your guy, but it's an interesting kind of trade. Obviously, like from the contending aspect of like Swift just like for the rest of the season and the games you get out of him like through the end. Now McConkey is legitimately like, it is not just a random spell. Like there's been some like meaningful series like getting snaps in a row for McConkey, but I think Swift will probably still look pretty good for the rest of the season. I am probably fine consolidating and doing this if my team can take the consolidation.
Yeah, I think the way I would play is I would just say, hey, what's the upside? And this is part of the reason I mentioned trading back from G&T to Hampton, because first round running backs have such a high hit rate.
Yeah.
Going into a Hampton does have that, Gibbs outcome. I mean, if he was producing like he was producing pre-injury, he would be valued in the same tier as Gibbs and Bucky and all those guys. So to me, I'm Like I'm like, give me that versus a running back that has looked all right in Swift, but could certainly lose some run, and is in a coaching staff that didn't pick him or sign him. And then you have Henderson, who's like a wild card that you hope is a Hampton type player. But it's like at a certain point, I'm just like, hey, I want the thing that works, even though he doesn't work right now because he's injured. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I do think that the upside of Hampton's worth this consolidation because things can change swiftly for Swift. And Henderson is someone that might be a little bit more down before we get some up. Like he might be kind of like that Woody Marks timeline of maybe next year, like when the situation makes sense, he will actually get run. I imagine they will give Henderson a full run out eventually, but it's something where it's like I don't know when it will come. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just have the guy that when he's out there, he's a walking 25 points per game.
And it's tough to like, what is the realistic trajectory where, based off of what we've seen up until this point, with Vrabel as the head coach, with a team that's winning, where like I don't foresee the near future of like, let's go, man. Remember when you were all scared about Treyvion Henderson and now he's 80% snap share, 18 carries and 5 targets a game, and they didn't add anybody to this backfield. Like that is just, I think it's too many bullets, unrealistic bullets to dodge, just pure situation based, to not take that. So I'm taking the Hampton side.
It's not like a Jonathan Taylor situation. Like JT had a slow rollout with the Colts, but like he was still out there. The fact that like Antonio Gibson goes down and it's like, okay, like it's finally time. Like they have to, right?
Yeah.
We've seen other teams, right? Najee goes down. It's like we have to just run Hampton a bunch. We've seen it with Cam Scatterby, right? Tracy goes down and they're like, well, let's see if he can be a bell cow. The fact that Gibson goes down, it's like, well, let's give Gibson snaps to Stevenson and Jennings. It's like, wait a minute. Like, didn't you just take Henderson? Like, even just from a like, let's see if we got something in this guy mindset. Like you would expect him to actually touch the ball, but it's just like I don't know if I want on that roller coaster. And if I can get off for some of that value to a Hampton, is probably worth it.
Yeah. All right, next one from Kyle here. Start Kincaid or Gadsden. I am not going to declare myself the start sit guru. Like I am very much in these spooky, like in these like kind of like spooky projection based ones where it's like, I'm not 100% sure. Like we've seen like 2 weeks of Gadsden with the 70% plus snap share. I would recommend using the Dynasty Daddy start sit tool. You can get the projections across other sites. And I'm a big, in these kind of, sometimes in these spooky ones, I will check like sportsbook odds just to see where like receiving lines are set at for players. Because the sportsbooks do not like losing money. But you get,
yeah, I mean,
it's the Vikings Chargers. Yeah, what's the
Vikings,
Kincaid?
Chargers.
Like we're off the bye. Have you heard anything Kincaid injury wise?
Off the bye. I don't know. He's currently has the status of out.
I assume he'll be back, but if there's any question at all, I'm fine saying F it, we ball.
They are playing Carolina's defense, which I thought I heard that Carolina is good against tight ends.
Hey,
defensively,
Jake, I got to bring him up. How about them Panthers, baby? Talk to him. Winning record too. You guys took out
easiest schedule in the league.
You took out an NFL starting quarterback. You sent Justin Fields to irrelevancy.
Just like Tony Romo. That might be Justin Fields' last game.
Dang.
Might be Justin Fields' last game. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm fine rolling the hot hand of either. Like I think it's just kind of like whichever one you get.
You know who's running more routes and
Herbert
more snaps?
Herbert in a dome.
It's
Herbert in a dome looks
good.
I'll
tell you what, it's and the Vikings defense is on #suspect watch. I know like it might be a little spooky. I don't want to like talk down on a Brian Flores defense and then watch Herbert get sacked, 12 times on Thursday night. with the current offensive line situation and all the blitzes he's going to get thrown at him.
You will only make an official statement after the Lions play him.
Yeah, you do see a little. I'm hiding this little Lions pillow in the back there when I say this, but
the Vikings suck. Officially a Lions fan.
But I do know and this is mostly Will regurgitating what my trusted sources. But yeah, if Kincaid, like if it's, I mean, I'm totally spitballing this with no injury information, but if it's like Kincaid quite like limited, like, you know, there's any kind of question, I have no issues rolling with Gadsden. I'm rolling with Gadsden, man.
We could also just see that Puka ascension. I mean, if it's just another absolute ripper, you know, another touchdown, 60 yards and like 6 catches. I mean, goodness.
Ladder Gadsden.
I mean, it's
Dynasty. No,
we could be getting there. Like the lad back.
One more week.
Are, in a rough week.
No. He's good. No. He just didn't get the touchdown. He outproduced QJ. No tight end premium. Superflex half PPR. Kittle or Marks and Brashard Smith. No tight end premium half PPR. Start 9. I'm probably just taking Kittle. Like shallow. Just give me what I think might smash. He just got the contract extension too, so like even at the age, like you get worried about it. It's like, yeah, but at least I know like he's in this situation for, you know, next couple seasons. He's going to be a top 6 tight end projection for, or we'll see. You know, Tyler Warren, Gadsden. No,
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews bounce back when he gets traded. He was supposed to go to the Chargers. That was Will's. And then I was like, why would the Chargers do that? Yeah, I think we're on the same boat there.
That's the Madden 26 trade.
Yeah. Is it? Subtitle chip here. It is ironic that everyone hated the Egbuka landing spot because he was going to be stuck behind 2 big dogs, and now he's fulfilling the prophecy ahead of schedule. That's showbiz, baby. And yes, I think people will point to like the injury stuff with Mike Evans, obviously Chris Godwin coming back and then getting hurt again. But I mean, we saw him right out of the gate producing next to healthy Evans. And yeah, that's the landing spot stuff, man. People,
that's showbiz, baby.
Do you remember? There were some people that were like, and Gold. I still do like Golden. We're seeing some weird stuff with like him getting schemed early. Like he's getting like 3-4. Like I think he had like 2 or 3 receptions on like the first drive or the first couple drives, and then just nothing rest of the game. It was Tucker Kraft's world and Josh Jacobs. Reed. Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like, dude, you talk about landing spot, and it's like, oh, Golden could be the wide receiver 1. It's like, dude, they have 4 wide receiver 2s, the Packers, and a tight end that's also one of the wide receiver 2s, and a running back that's now getting used in the passing game. Like, landing spot is #overrated compared to prospect profile and what receivers you think are good and situation. Like, I think people were counting out the Bucks and Baker with Liam Cohen, and
yeah. I mean, I think a big part too with like the Golden comp is like even in college he didn't produce at that high level. Yeah. Whereas if you looked at Egbuka in college, he was that all around wide receiver. I mean, all these scouts I was listening to would always be like, oh, well, he's the most complete wide receiver coming out of the draft. He might not be the most talented physically as like a Pets or a Hunter, but
no, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. What happened?
No, we got to pull this up. I'll pull it up. Sorry. I hate to interrupt with a moan and me looking at my phone. That's bad podcasting and bad YouTube hosting. And I will not stand for it. And I apologize. But there was a trade that just went down in Charlie Daddy. And I'm very sad that I was not able to acquire Rico Dowdle in this league. So I will. I'll get this ready.
Not checked that league.
It just happened. Sorry, it came up on my phone, and sometimes I do the phone checks because I think it's kind of fun to like get a sleeper notification, and maybe it's somebody responding to one of my trade offers, and I can be like, guys, trade offer just went down in this league. You know, we're live. Just happened. But I want to pull this up. Also, we have some Discord ask questions. So we will hit those in a second. But right here, this is a, this was a start. Was it 13? I always forget how many starters. It's my first best ball league, guys. 13 starters, I believe. Superflex. 2 tight end. This also doesn't matter for this trade. 0.75 tight end premium.
Yeah, start 13.
And actually, it's not terrible because I do like Cedric Tillman. Obviously, he's just been hurt. But Cedric Tillman, LaQuint Allen, and Jaylen Lane for Rico Dowdle, Tyquan Thornton. I would love to be sending my Cedric Tillmans, LaQuint Allens, and Jaylen Lanes for Rico on my contending Charlie Daddy team.
I mean, and Thornton. Thornton as like that boom bust wide receiver in a basketball league is
somebody running routes for the Kansas City Chiefs.
13 points or 1 point, but that's all I need.
I guess I have to send an offer for Rico Dowdle or for David Montgomery. Jeremy just wants to bring up that he's first place in like 11-1 right now. Or what are you? Are you 12 and
perfect draft? 13-1, baby.
You don't have Travis Hunter though. So who's the real loser?
That's true.
I don't have my first and I'm in 6th place right now. But we're feeling good. Second highest score. Second highest score this last week. Let's go. You know, best ball's all about
when Travis Hunter shows up.
It's not about how you start, right? It's about how you finish. Now we just need RJ Harvey to do something. Oh, that was I think Will was in Dynasty mode when he in that startup draft. Good thing I moved off of Colston Loveland for Tucker Craft. All right. Speaking of Tucker Craft, Grande Gadsden. He's gonna have some fun names if he's a real Dynasty player in the future. Is next year's Tucker Craft? Book it. Dude, I think the thing with Gadsden is like, to me, so much of it is if the Chargers want him in this role. And I think there was a little bit of fear with like the run blocking stuff. Like sometimes that's an issue with like the Kincaids of the world where teams don't want to have these tight ends playing close to full-time snaps because they're a liability in the run game or it's like a giveaway in certain packages. But man, if he's going to be 70+% route share, if that sticks with all 3 receivers healthy, come on, why not? Why not him with J Herb?
No, I mean his usage is there. I mean, if they keep using him, and I mean, I think something too for anyone that's wary about Ladd, Gadsden, QJ's usage, Keenan Allen has to eventually retire. So like these younger pieces, even if they're giving up 15 targets to Keenan Allen every week, Keenan Allen will eventually ride off into the sunset, and then all those targets have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So as a Dynasty asset, like totally can see Gadsden being next year's Tucker Craft type player because there might be more targets to go around.
Sorry, not gonna lie, I was a little late. I'm responding to that because I was mid trade offer. I need to stop doing that. Focused, locked in. I got Judkins, Woody, Vidal, and Swift.
The Rico Dowdle trade's got you.
It does have me in a tizzy. I'm not gonna
rattled.
Lie. It's I honestly, and I have like, I don't know if you ever get this like trader's remorse where you were like in a trade negotiation and you like felt confident that it was going to happen, and then they trade with somebody else, and you're like, oh, and you start chasing the trade like you just lost $200 on slots or something, and you're like.
You're like, I need another trade.
Come on,
anybody I can get.
Who's on the black? The last person that puts him in the black. That's when you know it's bad, when you're searching that trade block to see what people put up. Judkins is interesting. I think he's an interesting like Dynasty future because I think he looks really good, but he also is a Cleveland Brown, and the like receiving usage is not great. But I'll tell you what, man, seeing 3 Wildcat goal line snaps for Judkins. Now, granted, they have Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, so maybe that changes in the future, but gets me going, man. That's what you want to see out of your running back. Like, does he have the goal line roll wrapped up? Yeah, he's literally got Taysom Hill packages.
He's under center. Yeah.
Like that's what you want to see.
No, I mean, I think Judkins is kind of like a Nick Chubb.
Where's he at?
Like,
I'll pull it up.
Obviously, it's like a lazy comp.
Nick
but
Chubb
it kind of is true.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of true.
It's kind of like this year JT is the upside, I think, where it's like, yeah, he's going to get maybe like 2 or 3 catches a game, but he just doesn't have like Achane 7-8 targets, which you just love out of those like smash running backs.
A lot of targets.
Wow. He is. I'm kind of surprised. I love him. He right now KTC has passed James Cook and is right behind Bucky, running back 8. I mean, 3 touchdown game.
People love a good rookie.
He does just look good. And that's the kind of thing when you get this kind of usage and you look good in like a questionable offense. I think those are the 3 things. It's like, I'm getting usable production. Like, I wouldn't lock him in RB1, like an RB1 rest of season, but like I feel pretty confident each week that I'm getting a top 20 projection at the running back position. And he's a rookie. And, quarterback can only get better.
RB13 on Dynasty Daddy right now. Behind Kyron, Jacobs, McCaffrey, Cook.
Do you like the James Cook stuff is tough too, because we're coming off of 2 pretty bad James Cook weeks where, it's kind of tough because
we're just coming off 2 bad Bills weeks in general.
Right. But the James Cook thing that I think was the toughest is he just is not getting the pass game usage. Like they are still like fine with using like Ty Johnson and other running backs in those situations. So like, I don't know how, the Bills defense I think is pretty tough, pretty rough. Tough sounded like they were good, pretty rough. So we might get more of these games than people want, but I don't know. I was going to ask you, would you trade Judkins for Cook straight up on your like contending-ish teams just for like the better projection and you have the contract, even though you lose 5 years?
I probably wouldn't, just because I don't think
you could probably find a different deal.
I don't necessarily know if the values like I would probably aim higher. Like would I trade Judkins for like a Hampton, like a Bucky type? Sure, because they do have that pass catching side of their game that can kind of take the fantasy points to a next level. But for me, going from like a Judkins to a Cook does have that passing upside, but that offense is just can be sporadic in terms of like who they actually focus on.
Yeah.
But like to me, I'm like maybe if I have like a hard player take, I know I'm historically low on James Cook, even though he's been helping me out on my Dynasty or the best ball league. But I probably would try to aim a little bit higher, like kind of to that next tier of running back before, trading Judkins for Cook. They're kind of within the same tier.
Yeah, and I do think there's like different types of moves you could do. Like you could probably go down a little bit lower and get better pluses on top. Like dynasty wise, like Jacobs being 27. Like if I was really going to do that contending move, you go to Jacobs and can get like a better plus.
Jacobs or McCaffrey.
Yeah, that helps your team out more, and the person wanting to do that type of move like feels better about the age gap they're getting if their team is not contending. Like those are very like situational trade bets. It's just fun to have those combos. All right, I'm gonna hit these last 2, and then we'll go into the live stream ask questions. AJ Lee.
Make sure to like. We gotta pump up those numbers.
Like, subscribe. What else should they do? Guys, join the Discord. Link in the description. It brought a tiny tear to my eye. I know somebody said something like, "Oh man, the Discord felt like it was more active in the off season," and I was like, I kind of took that to the heart because, dude, the season is busy, man. Like, I'm in like 18 leagues total, like across like redraft stuff that I do too. I'm on the stream right now, sending out trade offers, thinking about the waiver claims I have to make tonight. But I do want to be more active in the Discord. So I promise, if you join the Discord and or are in the Discord and put a trade question in the, thanks for the sub, shout out to you, in the trade 1 QB or trade 2 QB league, I will give you my perspective. Bang. How about that? Join the Discord.
That's a winning pitch.
That's a promise. I can't promise it will be good advice, but it will be advice.
The scene from Wolf of Wall Street where it's like, sell this pin to me. Sell joining the Discord to me.
There we go. Clip it. We'll play at the beginning of the stream. Except I don't know if I keep that promise consistently. Just kidding. I will. All right. Oh, I just pulled the question down. 12 teams start 10. AJ Lee. My team is 2-5 without its 26 first. Damn. Team is top heavy with JD5, Knicks, Gibbs, Lamb, Rice, and not much else. Shall be down tiering for draft capital or keep the premium assets? Ooh, that is tough. I mean, I think the easiest way for you to get your first back, if it is also on a contending team, would be to, if you can find the like not major loss, like injury wise or, unproductive or whatever, pivot off of one of these producing assets to get your first back plus something is ideal. If you are like already locking in that pick. But the tough thing is that manager also knows that these 2 and 5 pick is probably going to be pretty rough. So with that being said, if you had a QB2 and could kind of like push through the JD5 stuff with Knicks, would you be trying to down tier enough to find a way to compete? Be moving. I know you don't want to push in more, but like moving a future second to try to get enough contending pieces. Because like, dude, Knicks. I don't want to start with Knicks. Gibbs, Lamb, Rice. That's pretty nasty, man. Like that. I come up against that team contending. I'm spooked.
I wonder if it's just like Lamb's been injured, Rice has been out.
Yeah.
JD5's been injured. Like I'm 2-5. This sucks, but like now my whole team's ready to roll.
The not much
like,
else is
this
what
the
spooks
one where
me.
It's like, yeah. And if I'm sitting here and it's like, if the not much else is very bad, and I do think you need to have a conversation of splitting at least one of these players, to just give you a way to add something that's not much else. Because yeah, I mean you got 5 good players out of 5, but you still have 5 other players that you need to fill out. And if you're literally rolling out like Jeremy McNichols and whatever, we definitely that's definitely not going to carry you all the way there. And having the those types of players.
You know what you don't do? Like if your response is like, yes, my team is terrible outside of this, like awful, I need to find a way to like buy enough pieces. Like to me, you are not paying for a better QB3. Like I am trying to find the cheapest way to plug in that Superflex spot behind Knicks. So like a lot of my teams,
Taylor.
I'm putting in major waiver claims for Tyrod Taylors. I'm sending fours for
Andy Dalton,
for Joe Flacco's. I'm trying to find the teams that are not competing that have these type of quarterbacks on them. And I know some people will say like, those teams don't do that, but like, dude, that's what I do in Bravo Daddy. I literally, I've traded away Mac Jones. I'm putting Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota on the block. Like I'm getting all the fourths and pick swaps I can get for these guys because they do #matter. And then I try to find cheap contending-ish buys like Darnell Mooney, Juwan Jennings, I don't know what Rashee Shaheed's price is nowadays. Deebo Samuel coming off the injury. Who else? What's Stephon Diggs cost me?
Stephon Diggs?
Because the thing is, like you do want to target these like Stephon Diggs types because you don't want to pay the freight when you don't have your own first. Like you don't want to be pushing in too many more picks on top of not having your own first. But I do think when you don't have your own first, you want to find a way to get to the playoffs, especially with this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's either get to the playoffs or be like, hey, can I move Knicks for my first or something, like first plus or something.
Yeah, you found a deal that works for you.
Yeah,
and you might still be able to compete after doing something like that, even though you feel like you're top heavy. Like this team is sick. Well,
yeah, I mean, if you split Knicks into another starter, plug in like Carson Wentz, who might start for who knows how long.
Yeah.
But have like a Flacco, and then roll with those Gibbs, Lamb, Rice, and fill out the rest with whatever the plus is on that first or whatever. It could certainly be a team that makes the playoffs, but you do definitely need to start winning. Otherwise, then everyone knows, oh, this is a locked in early pick.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the fear you have. And I think you also called out a good point of like, you don't want to pay credit card debt with more credit card debt. Like it's okay to say, hey, I'm going to make moves and try to maneuver. But at a certain point, you got to be like, okay, I just got to pay the fact that I don't have my 26 first, and I'm not going to be trading my 27 first to get more in debt on a team that's already 2-5.
Yeah.
Like, I need to start finding ways to add cheap players that have the upside that can hit on the next Camp Scadaboos and the Egbukas and those types of players.
Yep. All right, we're going to try something out here, guys. I'm going to the display capture, and so what was sent to me was a screenshot off a phone of a roster from Dynasty Daddy, which in the future, feel free to just post the Dynasty Daddy link, and we could probably find it pretty easily, but I'm going to see if this works. All right, I'm going to go over where the display capture is with this picture, and we'll see how bad this is. Boom. No, it's not that bad. All right. Also, the image itself is like cropped, so even though it looks like I'm cropping it badly because I'm doing it this way. It's not me. It's you, Labellium. But thank you for your live stream ask. We got you. All right, here we go. The other contenders have had bad luck this week, so now I find myself with a better chance, 54%. Shout out to the playoff calculator of making the playoffs. Breece Hall, Nico Collins, and Javonte Williams were put on the trade block. Any worth a move for me to truly contend? Would you send Fannin and the 301 for Hall? I'd be curious to know.
I was reading he posted. Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. Never mind.
Yeah. No,
I
he
didn't know
just
if it was
it's
like two-parter.
not the first time calling. So this is a Goff, T-Law, Gabriel Wentz team. You got Jacobs, Kyron. Okay, the RB3 would be nice. Like you like one more, because the drop off.
The Henderson is burning a hole in your pocket.
You get the Henderson Davis as having to start one of Henderson Davis, Luther Burden, Jacoby right now. I mean, Josh Downs is like not the worst thing in the world.
Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah. But like, dude, you get a Javonte added onto this team, like starting Jacobs, Kyron, Javonte, Lamb, Ladd, QJ feels pretty good. I guess in a vacuum, let's say it's a 0.5 tight end premium. Do you like Fannin in the 301 for Hall? You have Kittle.
I think I would do it. Like, just because like it's Breece Hall. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
even though it's not like
You have a lot of outs on that.
Amazing situation. Yeah, like I just feel like that's a good value move long term. And then that's also a great addition to what I need already.
Would you do Fannin the 301 for, like, I think I would check the Javonte manager, because obviously a team that puts Javonte on the block is probably going to be more interested in Fannin types, right? So I would see what the Javonte price would be. Like, can I do like Fannin? Like, could you find a way to, and a Burden is tough because I really like Burden, and I'm only trading away Burden on my teams where I'm finding another Burden believer who is like this target per route rate stuff, wants these routes in the future. Like, I'm willing to make the dynasty bet. And these are the types of teams that are like teams that are putting like Breece Hall, Nico, and Javonte on the block are probably more willing to do, I'll get some youth, I'll get some value. Like, if you give me a pick and Fannin and whatever. So, like, can I do, like, Fannin, Burden, a second for Javonte and a wide receiver upgrade? And I'm rolling out Jacobs, Kyron, Javonte, CeeDee, Ladd, QJ, whatever receiver they have that is, you know, an upgrade for your lineup. You got Kittle, Goff, T-Law.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely explore that route. I think too, like that you have a few options. Like, you can do kind of like if you can get Fannin for Breeze, like the Fannin Breeze deal, I'd certainly do that, just because I think the value is so good of locking in a positional starter that matters for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I also think if I am like saying, hey, I want to push in, I mean, do I try to go after a Henderson believer and just say, hey, like,
yeah,
this team is rebuilding. Just give me Javonte. I'll give you Henderson. You know, give me Javonte and a little plus. I'll give you Henderson. That might fit your window more, and I can get a guy that's, you know, RB4 or whatever in the year right now.
Yeah, and this isn't always,
that would be a huge upgrade.
Yeah, this isn't always the right way to think about these things, but like a team, like obviously you have like CeeDee, Ladd, QJ. Like, I'm expecting these guys to be starters for, you know, long periods of time. But like, I don't want to waste when I have like Jacobs, Kyron types. Like, I don't want to waste the like 2 to 3 year windows I think I have of like elite-ish production from these guys. So I'm willing to do these kind of like dynasty upside pick bet trades to like fill out my starting lineup without losing too much. Like, I'm not trying to send like firsts and Fannin unless I'm like really upgrading and getting a smash receiver or something. So I think these like kind of sneaky Fannin 301 for Hall, or, you know, we talked about the Henderson Javonte swap type of deals. I definitely would get a pulse check on how that manager feels about like Henderson, Burden, Fannin, like these types. Because I think even like I don't know, how do you feel about like sleeper DM conversations? Like, I think some people hate them, where it's like, bro, just send me an offer. Like, shut up, I'm in too many leagues. But I kind of like these types of trades where it's very much like, all right, who do you like? I'm obviously you're moving some contending pieces. Like I got Treyvion, Burden, Fannin, interested in, going after Devonta, Hall, whatever. How do you feel about that?
I'm not the best at the sleeper DM game,
Yeah.
self-admittedly. But I mean, I think it's a lot of it was just like the notifications are just like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like it's like you open it up and you have like 800 notifications or whatever. But I mean, with all that being said, I do think there's certainly like this is one where I might send like a couple deals out and see which one they bite on, right? Like be like Fannin in this for Bryce, and then like maybe a Henderson, like, and
Yeah.
all of them are probably deals that may favor me a tiny bit, just because I don't want to like give them an instant smash, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, here's Henderson for like DeAndre Swift or something. Like you're like, okay, that's like a panic sell.
They accept all
but like
three.
just to be like, hey, like either send me a counter or like, oh, I do like Henderson. I don't like this piece in it. And it's like, okay, sure, I could talk about that. But it's kind of hard when it's hard when you're in a lot of leagues, and it's also hard when the sleeper app just decides to not work, which has sometimes happened. It's gotten better on loading on my phone though, I will say. Like early season, I was literally like, I can only set lineups through my desktop because it was impossible to just
desktop was brutal.
Click.
It was crashing like every time I would accidentally click on a player and where like it pulls up the box score, and it was crashing every single time. It was brutal. And then I see people like, sleeper, please add this. I'm like, guys, no. Like they
take away stuff.
Let's remove these player images.
Let's remove things.
No, I love sleeper though. I will say like all the flack I give to sleeper about like UI stuff and stuff crashing, it's just I think about doing like Yahoo, ESPN, or like MFL Dynasty stuff. And I just, I'm grateful that we have a platform that's decent enough.
I will say I do think Flea Flicker is a little underrated. I know no one really.
I have not used it, but I have heard good things.
I think it's easy for.
I didn't besmirch its name.
The app is just Dynasty. It's just Dynasty, and it just runs so fast.
I do like the flexibility of some of these other like MFL.
The UI is worse. The UI is definitely worse, but it's like. Yeah, when I have to close and reopen the app every time I make, like send a message to have it refresh, like sometimes I'm like, hey, it might just be easier to just have a very toned down version of a fantasy football manager.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. All right, we've got another one here. Shout out to Patty Mills, and this is the classic, man. You get the Discord ask. And I pull up the team on Dynasty Daddy, and it is number 1 overall, number 1 starter rank. Oh, I can remove this.
Ooh, this is deep league. 14 teams.
14 teams and 4-3. Third in points 4. Ain't that how it goes, man? I guess we can do this.
Be that way.
All right. Let's.
Oh, this team's about to cook though.
Oh yeah, Lamar coming back. Like, yeah, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels back.
You got Dart.
Henry's back. Chuba's back. Rashee Rice is back.
You got Amon.
Your whole starting lineup's
Rome,
back.
Rice, Kittle back. This might be you don't need to do anything, brother, but let's read this one. 4-3 and third in points 4. What are you doing with Dart on this team? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Do you add another stud receiver or running back, try to get some depth, or hold with JD5 and Lamar battling injuries? I do have Mariota. Any other moves? Yeah, the interesting thing is I
guess this is like a Dart take.
It is more of a Dart take convo. Like, I think let's remove Dart from the conversation for a second, because I kind of want to speak to this team outside of the Dart trade. Because I am a big sell your QB3 guy. I really am. But with Lamar not practicing on Monday and Jaden Daniels like potentially missing this next week, I'm a little bit more inclined to hold on to my Dart, who's like looking decent and running, and I think is going to get a runway here. But with all that being said, I think the one place you would want to upgrade would be the running back room. Now, granted, the Falcons are playing the Dolphins, so this wouldn't be the worst week to start Tyler Algier. But I think you probably still are fine playing Chuba. But with this kind of team, 4-3, you've got all your own picks, an extra third. Would you try to find a cheap running back buy on this team?
Probably. The question is who.
This is a 1-6 rebuilding team that has Genty. Would you?
Jaylen
Can
Warren?
I buy
Like
Jaylen
a
Warren?
second for Jaylen Warren.
Can I do it? I would check.
2-5 with Josh Jacobs.
Ooh, good find.
My question here is like, I feel like in the 14-team league, having QB depth is valuable. The fact that you have a ton of quarterbacks to begin with, though, is nice.
Yeah.
And I get your point. Like, maybe I don't make the dart trade this week or wait until JD or whatever. But I think there's like two options you have, and one is like I trade like Lamar or Jaden Daniels and just roll with Dart as my QB2 and try to just bank elite value off of one of them, or I sell Dart and get out on, if he kind of has like a sophomore slump and everyone's like, oh, well, like, he's not as good of a quarterback as these other guys.
Yeah.
Or you just kind of live with the experience of Dart. So, I mean, I think you could go either way with that. But, I mean, I think there's the three options you have. Is like, let me try to get my second to address, like, add a Warren and be like, this is my team. Cool. And then, like, the other one's like, I mean, you could honestly do the trade with the second for Warren and then also say, okay, now I'm going to take Dart and try to go after like a Josh Jacobs on a rebuilding team or something and try to say, hey, this might be a more valuable piece to you because you do need that quarterback and I need that, I need some sort of flex player that's going to give me some value.
Yeah.
Because like Barkley and Jacobs on this team is certainly not the most exciting. If you're 2-5, like you're not really feeling great about that. So I that's probably the angle I would go. And then like if I want to get crazy and just be like, let me try to see what haul is out there. Like, what will someone give me for JD5? Right? Maybe I tried to explore something like that.
3 and 4.
You could certainly get
one quarterback,
crazy value.
Kyler and Russ. No running backs though. You got to find like the Gibbs.
The issues, like I feel like 4-3, you could get like this guy has Stafford and Geno, no first round pick. You could say, hey, JD5 for like Puka or something, like, because this guy needs a quarterback.
Yeah. I will say blind
this guy,
spot.
Kyler Murray, 3 and 5. Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson.
I know he just had me running backs
after like JSN or something.
Yeah, that would be nice. My blind spot, I will admit, is that I see that upper echelon tier of quarterbacks, the Lamar, Jayden Daniels, Josh Allen, as like the promised land. It is like these projections for at the quarterback spot, which you can just like weekly are projecting for 25 plus and can give you these like crazy 30 with like the rushing and touchdown upside. With all that being said, it is a lot of dynasty value that can be burning a hole in your pocket when you have a lot invested into two of them and they're not performing that way. Now, Lamar, it's been tough. Like obviously he's been hurt, so you haven't been able to realize that.
Yeah.
Jayden Daniels.
I mean, JD5 as well.
JD5 has like been playing and also hurt, but like the playing hasn't given these monster. Now Terry's been out. Debo's missed some of these games. The Chicago game was like a weird wet raining one. Like I am a believer in healthy Jayden Daniels. Like, and I think even through the injury, we're still seeing decent rushing. So that is a blind spot for me, is like the trade you had mentioned of potentially trying to move for like an elite running back. But I think it's in the cases you can get a plus. Yeah. It's hard
but,
to.
I mean, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like you said, like people view those players as a promised land player.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a haul. Like even if you look on Keep Trade Cut and they're like, well, Puka is equal to Jayden Daniels. Or if you look on Dynasty Daddy and it's like, oh, these players are the same. It is and it isn't, because it's one of those sacred quarterbacks. And if you're able to get Puka in the first, or like those are those types of deals where if you can actually get that elite promised land value price tag, it's hard to really counteract that.
And I do.
It's hard to say no to that.
I want to, like, Patty, look at me. Like, you're adding a running back to this team. 4-3, this team is sick. Like, I think this team, what is it? There's 2 6-1 teams, 1 5-2. Let's take a look at the 6-1 team. Poof, just lost Fields. I mean, this is mostly why. Bijan, JT, Dowd, all that team's pretty sick. But like some holes, you know? Like, yeah, you got Egbuka, T, Diggs, but like Wandale Jennings, and then Mark Andrews at tight end. Like, you having all these guys coming back, like Lamar, Kittle, like this team adds a running back and it's highest projection team, I think, easily. And I just think like with these kind of teams, especially when you're 4-3 and I have a chance, like I think this is the time where it's like you get too late into the season and it's like, okay, I don't want to trade too much value to try to secure the bye. But I think you can still make a push for the bye at 4-3 with how this league is set up with this kind of team. And Chuba is just a little bit spooky to me of like an RB2 when RB3 is Tyler Algier.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think the moves I would really try to make, and it's hard for me to move off of Jane Daniels or anything. Like you said, I give the whole spiel, but again, it's like, do I really want to like actively pursue trading one of those guys? Like that's like a foundation of a house. Like you make sure you have a good one, and you just never have to touch it again.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, and I've really looked like, can I flip a dart for kind of a Jacobs type player or something like that, or or can I use that second, third, something like that? I'm okay dipping into next year's seconds as well. 2 seconds for Javonte Williams or something. Like, is there a way that I can address my running back and kind of have Chuba be that flex type of player, not have, it be Chuba's my RB2 and we don't really know what his role will look like long term.
What was the receivers there? What was the one running back? Because the tough thing about the Jacobs dart, like trying to go after Jacobs on this dart, oh my gosh, trying to trade dart for Jacobs in this for this team is they have Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, and technically Tua is starting. So like they might look at that and be like, yeah, I'm gonna bank on like the Daniel Jones contract stuff and Sam Darnold's balling right now. So it is kind of tough. Was there another team? You got Bryce Young is okay. You got Javonte on this team that is gonna lose Bryce Young for a week or two. But
you got David Montgomery.
I love me some David Montgomery, but I feel similar to Chuba spooked wise. But I mean, if he or Jaylen Warren are cheap enough, I'm fine with that too.
I mean, it's also a 14-team league, so if we're talking a late first, that's like a third or a late second.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne.
Okay. Yeah.
Daniel Robster. He's Patrick Mahomes and your favorite quarterback, the Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward.
I have one Cam Ward chair, and man, wait, do I have two? Well, I hope I don't have two. I have one.
I don't know if I have any Cam Ward.
I don't have any Colson Loveland. Does that surprise you?
Kind of does. I don't have any Ward.
Well, the thing with Loveland is I was always Egbuka over Loveland. I was kind of a fade the tight end, so I only have one Tyler Warren. And
yeah, I don't have either.
Charlie Daddy, where I did draft him, I ended up trading mostly format based. Start 2 tight end, best ball, 0.75 tight end premium. That feels like you want to have tight ends that project well consistently. Ended up trading him in that craft deal. But yeah, I'm trying to find a way to get a running back for sure. Okay, 1-6 team with never mind. Scannabo.
I think your best option is like honestly like a Warren for a pick.
Yeah, the Warren.
Or trying to go after like
it's probably the cheapest. That makes sense. One.
Yeah, or like maybe 2 seconds or something. Like, can something like that work for Jacobs? Like, I'd really try to get like the Jacobs deal to go through.
Any interest.
Like
I don't
Bucky.
love Kamara, even post Kendra injury. But depending on what his price is from this 3 and 4 team, because this team is interessante. Kamara, Rashad,
You want to
Waver,
get?
Mondre.
Oh well, you can't get that crazy. I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
For a 14-team league, I feel like the quarterbacks are pretty well balanced.
That's what I was about to say. I'm going through all these teams. I'm like, which one of these teams is like really hurting? It is probably this 3 and 4 team.
This 3 and 4 team, the running backs are a crime against humanity. Tajay Spears, Trey Miller.
And you don't want to count people's pockets too. Like I look at some of these teams and it's like some of these teams that you don't think would buy Dart might have a lot of stock
They might be
in.
a Giants fan.
Well, yeah, that or just like rookie quarterback, what he's been doing the past couple weeks, like upside stuff. So yeah, those pivots with what you have in your quarterback room. And maybe it's like a quarterback deal. Like maybe it's like the Flacco team, this 3 and 4. Well, not this one. They don't have good running backs.
Also, it's crazy that Andy Dalton's available in a 14 team.
I know. Look at the rest of these. I guess Dalton. I mean, I would have Dalton rostered. Actually, I say that, but I don't have him rostered in a league. Singleton team. So this is the 4 and 3. This is the Stafford Geno. Okay, yeah. The only tough thing, I mean, unless you want to go elite receiver, like I'm just not a big buy David Montgomery low type of guy just with your team, because I think I'd rather pay for a better projection, because I feel similar to Montgomery as I do Chuba as far as like the floor any week could fall out, as far as like what we just saw. And they also don't have their 26 first or second. So this feels like a team that's like, actually, I don't even know what this team's plan is. This team is like, please, Chase and Puka carry me to victory. Which might not be a bad bet. He's Contender though, yeah. I mean, have you gotten any Dart interest, or just teams that like you know the league better than us? Like, do you feel like there's teams that would pay for Dart? Like this team that's just Kyler and nothing? Like, can you get CeeDee and JSN with a Dart deal?
You could pick up like
Dart
J.K.
and receiver
Dobbins or something.
I like JK. JK's usage has been pretty sick. The receiving stuff is like not awesome, but like they just have not really used him on these goal line carries. And like if that changes and he gets like 1 touchdown in some of these weeks, like his projection looks way better.
Team that lost Burrow. B. Kelman.
Ooh, Dart into 2 for London and Bryce. That's kind of awesome. I would do that in a heartbeat on your team.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely do that.
I don't want to be too low on Dart. Like I like Dart. And he's going to run the ball. But with your team, like those are the kind of deals that you love, because you're like, it feels on a weekly projection, it feels like you're giving up a 2nd round pick for London and Bryce. Even though that's not what it is.
It does.
Like you're losing the dynasty value, but like for what your team needs, that it helps a lot.
Especially after like the weird London game, like the narrative of like Darnell Mooney, wide receiver 1 alpha.
Yeah, off a bad week. I mean, I would throw in a receiver too. Like if I don't know if they want to convince themselves they're still contending. I mean, they're 4 and 3. I mean, Breach just had a bad game. Like, would you kick back? Would you do that deal, but you throw in, what do you have, Pittman? Would you throw in Pittman or Shaheed to get that deal done? Dart Pittman certainly. In a second. I think you probably would have to do something like that.
I'd throw a lot of these. Yeah. I throw in a lot of those like Shaheed, Pittman type players.
I would start. I mean, you would probably rather trade Shaheed than Pittman, but I like the Shaheed. Like I'm fine with having him instead of Pittman, especially if you're slotting in London and Chuba. or in Bryce.
Mhm.
So I would have no issues with starting with, hey, here's Dart and Pittman. You're getting a quarterback. Like, yes, you're losing London, but you get Pittman and you get a pick and you get the QB upside for this year, and then you can trade him next year. Nice. All right. What did we? What are like the? I don't know if this is where you want to do at the end of the show. Like the big storylines that we didn't get to talk through the trades. Like we talk about, I think Gadsden was probably pretty big dynasty wise. The Justin
we hit
Fields
on the
benching.
Nico Collins on a rebuilder from Landon.
Oh, I didn't click it. Or no, I pump faked. I clicked it on the AJ Lee and
You did pump it. Yeah, I was like, I don't remember.
That's why
talking, but I do think Nico Collins is kind of a conversation. I think people are scared, especially after the concussion, but just in general, with the way that offense looks, mainly looking at the offensive line.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's enough time to really feed that floor of Nico Collins to make you feel good.
Yeah, it's tough because like off the concussion or like the concussion injury stuff is spooky, and we've had some like what he had before this game: 4 for 52, 4 for 79, 8 for 104, 3 for 52. Like the consistent upside that we saw at the end of last season, we're not seeing right now. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like that feels a little, like on a rebuilder. I don't. It feels fair. I'm frozen. I'm frozen right now because I'm holding
Collins
my Nico.
And Wayndale for Tet in a second.
Yeah, I'm holding my Nico bags close to my chest and freezing on camera right now.
I mean, I'm biased. I'm a Panthers homer, so I just want to manifest Tet being in the Collins.
It probably is the right. It probably is the right like type of process move where, you know, the rookie season of somebody that like has shown alpha qualities and like from a target share perspective is going to be in the Nico tier. Yeah. I would, this is one that I would probably like really take a look at these teams and see if there was like an additional contender for rebuilder plus I could add that would make me feel better about doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, is there another contending type piece on your rebuilding team that you could move alongside to like turn it into, you know, Tet and a first that you're getting for, you know, Nico plus Wandale plus Debo or like something, or
I do think it's kind of hard, especially with the concussion right now, to sell Collins to a contender and be like, oh man, like I do need to pay Tet plus.
Right.
Yeah, like I think they're gonna be like, why would I play Tet plus? I'm not getting like, I'm not getting JSN or anything. Like it's. But yeah, I mean, I think you probably like. I'd like the Tet in the first, and hey, if they are sold on getting Nico, then sure. But I do think you might have to do a little bit of selling on what Nico Collins is.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't hate this deal in general. Like in the offseason, you're not getting a second for Wayndale Robinson. So if Tet and Nico Collins are similar tier players at the end of the year, you essentially turned Wayndale into a second that you can use later on.
This question here, I'm gonna hit yours next, Burrito Master, has inspired me to. I have some teams where I have Goddard, and it's some like juice Titan premium scoring leagues. And this one is even non-Titan premium. Would you sell Goddard for a late second in 2026 in a non-Titan premium rebuilding? And I have Kraft and Gadsden. I for sure am doing that. Like
for sure.
The like what you're potentially going to miss out upside wise is like yes, we've had some like crazy touchdown scoring weeks, and I mean he's had some like solid reception games, but I think the Eagles offense wants to be more of what we saw this last week, and obviously they would love to with like crazy blow up Devonta Smith, AJ Brown games. But I mean more in the context of like it's Devonta Smith over the middle of the field versus Dallas Goedert checkdowns. So yeah, with all that being said, You
I
inspired
think
me.
too the key word. Sorry, you go ahead.
No. You were gonna say non-tight end premium is big, and also on top of that, rebuilding. Like, there's a couple keywords here that are for sure. Let me
I
get
was
this
just gonna say
second.
the key word to me is rebuilding.
Yeah. No, the keyword is
Because if I
Gadsden.
can get like
Why
Goddard's
you have
old.
the tight end one? Why? Well, you don't need Goddard. You don't even need Kraft. Trade him away.
That's true. You got Dynasty tight end one.
No,
You got
I was just
Puka
gonna
Nacua as a
say
tight end.
you inspired me. I have granted, one of the tight ends that it has is Darren Waller, but I have a pretty juiced tight end premium scoring league where I have, actually, I'm going to pull it up right here. I've got Kelsey for this year. So I've got Kelsey, Goddard, Trey McBride, Noah Fant, which also is kind of inspiring me to just be like, Noah Fant, you are playing the role of Dallas Goedert for the rest of the season while Mike Gesicki's out. So let me move Goddard for a second so I can have more flexibility to, buy a receiver on this team that I need, or, move it for a running back. Yeah, the flexibility, like, I think that what doesn't get discussed enough, and maybe it does get discussed enough, like the flexibility. Like, I feel like I say that word all the time, and I hear it on Dynasty podcasts and stuff I listen to. But like that aspect of these kind of moves, where it's like, even if you think you're taking like a slight loss on value, which I don't, like, I think in a non-tight end premium, a second for Goddard is like great when you don't need him. But not everybody wants Goddard, man. But come rookie draft time, even if it's late, people will trade for that pick, and even in season. Like, even if it is a late second, you can move that on your team where you need next year. Like, you push that pick back to 27 or something, and it's like, hey, I'm contending now with this team. I have Kraft and Gadsden. No, got it. That's fine. And I can move that 27 second for next year's Rashee Shaheed. And like, I need him to plug in my receiver role spot for the rest of the season. I don't know why Rashee Shaheed is always my example for receiver, but he's just been my favorite. Like, people don't like
Mine's
this
always
guy.
Wayndell Robinson.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. But yeah,
Trey Tucker's
I think,
been mine recently, of my like cheap guy.
Trey Tucker, that's a good one. But yeah, man, to me, this is just an instant. This is the like the light at the end of the tunnel. You're not going to get an offer like this for Goddard. Like, his value can't go much higher. You just take it, and then you're like, well, Goddard's doing good. Oh, well, you also have Kraft and Gadsden.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you, either tight end doesn't matter a ton in your league because everyone has good tight ends if you have Kraft and Gadsden, or you just have a loaded room and you don't really need Goddard anyway because Kraft got like 12 targets last game or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and then Gadsden is the next coming of Puka Nacua and Tony Gonzalez if they had a baby. So like, to me, I'm just cash out. That's a free cash out for you.
No, you mentioned it early on, but what do you think a rebuilder would be looking for with Saquon? So if you have Saquon and you're trending towards a rebuild, I mean, I'm probably trying to find any way to get a first still at this point. I don't know how confident I feel. Like,
just put him on the trade block. Give him the nickname. Any first. Like, I need him off.
You might have to find a sneaky way to do it. Like, we talk about some of these moves where it makes so much sense for you to move off of these players. That you might have to like package Saquon plus a contending asset that really doesn't fit your timeline for a first. But yeah, I mean, what's the
Barkley for Daniel Jones in a second in a super flex? 10 teams start 10.
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, Daniel Jones, people are saying like, oh, he's one win away. Like, this team, how is this team not making the playoffs?
Oh yeah, no,
defense is questionable, but yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones loses one playoff game, and even if it's, I mean, I don't know how it would be like a total meltdown if this team's going to give Jonathan Taylor 20 carries, but yeah, I mean, how is he not getting an extension?
I will say, looking at the Dynasty Daddy trade database,
nice.
I'm not seeing Barkley for a second. I'm not seeing, like, the line is still a first. Like, you're not getting, like, there's not people saying like, I'm getting out on Barkley.
Yeah, so I'd buy Barkley.
It's literally like a first and a second, a first in Trey Tucker. Like, it's a first in Kenneth Gainwell. It's first and second. Here's one's like one first for Travis Kelce and Barkley, but most of them are Barkley for like either a player like Derrick Henry in a second or you just get like a first and like a throw in like Kenneth Gainwell. So I still think the line is there. If you are desperate to sell though, especially because you're a rebuilder and you're like, hey, I don't need this, I'd just be like, hey, give him a nickname, any first. Someone might just be like, hey, I probably have like the 110, 111.
Yeah.
I'll just send it for Barkley. And if he starts cooking, then I save an extra second or whatever that I would have had to trade to get Barkley.
Yeah. Yeah, these are interesting. I'm trying to find ones that I reasonably could see happening because a lot of these are not, in my humble opinion, reasonable. Like a lot of these Barkley for neighbor straight up. Let's see. Cam Ward and Saquon for Josh Jacobs in a second. It's kind of an interesting like type of trade.
Barkley for AJ Brown and Rico Dowdle in a Superflex 12-team start 11 full PPR. I feel like that's an interesting one.
I mean, who's going to score more fantasy points next week? Rico Dowdle or Saquon Barkley? It's probably going to be close, unfortunately.
Most traded player in fantasy football is Rico Dowdle.
All right, full 10 and premium. Mason Taylor in a second.
Carrots.
Mason Taylor in a second or Saquon. Full 10 and premium. 10 team start 11.
I did see that one 2 days ago.
It's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one.
Mason Taylor's interesting because, I mean, I'm Gadsden over Mason Taylor just because I think like the upside of like the type of player. Like I think Mason Taylor is more Jake Ferguson, while Gadsden is like Darren Waller type slot receiver, you know, running the seams down the field, yak threat.
I was getting kind of Jerry Rice vibes from him.
Antonio Gates, you know, wearing the jersey.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Zay Flowers are first in a second. Yeah, that's the
There's
tough
some
thing.
Weird deals.
The full Titan premium is like anything plus on top of that. You get these like one of these Mason Taylor type tight ends that gets like 7 receptions in a game, and like people are knocking on your door, and you get the second on top of it. That one probably does have to be. It's kind of interesting though because it's the contending conversation. Like it's hard to put Saquon in a box of what's happening right now because I mean it's not like Saquon is Derrick Henry age, and we're still expecting another year from Derrick Henry, right? So you don't want to get too down on it, but like we talk about it, man, the running back value. It's what have you done for me lately? What are you doing for me this next week?
Well, I will say, Derrick Henry's not human, so it's hard to really use him as kind of a threshold.
That's true.
But Christian McCaffrey's still going.
I mean, Saquon's not been human for a lot of time. He's just not getting the lanes to show his alien traits. How hilarious would it be for Saquon to lead the Giants and get a ring, then Jones to lead the Giants and get a ring? That would be pretty funny. The Giants, I think they would trade away those like 2 players for just how fun it looks like they're having with Dart and Scatterboo, though. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Dart Scatterboo is at least exciting. Like Daniel Jones was, I mean, just
sell some
tickets.
tickets.
Work. It's like me. It's me and Jake. Shout out to Jake. Panthers fans, where you're having Baker Mayfield as a freaking backup safety in your practice squad team. Like it was never going to work. It was never going to work. We were never going to have Tampa Bay Baker. We were always going to have our Sam Darnold and our Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones would never have worked in New York. Barkley did work in New York, but that team was just bad.
That was 2 ACLs ago, though. All right, Mitch here. Having trouble evaluating offers for JT as a non-contender. Wow. Bro, how bad is this team? JT and a non-contender. I'm sorry, that's messed up. My bad. My bad.
Damn, you had to do him like that. You had to kill him.
That's my bad.
Mitch just came into the chat and you just murdered him.
Would you prefer late 26 and 27 firsts, Waddle, and a late 26 first? So this is 2 late firsts, 26 and 27. You get Waddle and is this 3 firsts in Waddle? Or no, these are 3 different trades. So it's 2 late firsts in 26, 27. Yeah. Waddle in a late 26 first, or Cam Ward in a late 26 first. 14 team super flex.
14 team I'm just probably taking the picks, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
non-contender.
out of all those deals, that's the one I like the most.
Yeah, I like Waddle, but I don't know, man. I think we're a little bit far away from Waddle being worth too much more than a first straight up. So just taking the picks and running. Can I get something fun on top of the late picks, you know? I'm giving you JT. I'm giving you the running back one. Also, if you are like talking to one manager specifically, like you need to be putting JT on the block. Anytime you're moving these like Puka, JT, Jamar Chase, like if you are in conversations, like the league needs to be aware. Like the last thing you want is to see those messages of like, oh, I would have paid so much more. No, you need to let the people know.
Don't pull a Dallas Mavericks and only talk to the Lakers. You know, like there's other offers out there. You could get more for Luka. Don't do that with JT. Like, don't just hone in. That being said, I don't hate two first.
I kind of like JT as the Luka of the NFL. That's kind of a fun one.
I could see it.
Superstar, you know?
Superstar
doesn't get the face of the league recognition, but yeah,
not the most exciting every game. But
is JT get the has he claimed the Nick Chubb like pure rusher title? Remember Nick Chubb, the best pure rusher in the NFL?
Is that still like Derrick Henry?
I feel like Derrick Henry.
I feel like it's either Derrick Henry.
I think the pure rusher has a little bit of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a vibe. I don't know.
It's a little bit of like the hesitation, where it's like Henry's just like an avalanche.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if Henry hesitates,
doesn't have to like try to juke people. He just really just runs forward, and when taking 5 steps, it's over.
I don't want to talk down.
He takes 5 steps. It's a 30-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I don't want to talk down on Derrick Henry, but every time I see that man hesitate, he is 3 yards in the backfield, or fumbling the ball. But no, he's a monster. I'm gonna shut my mouth before word gets out. Appreciate your help, fellas. Hey, appreciate it. Sorry for what I said about your team, brother. That's messed up of me. I've got some disappointing teams. I got a JT team that started out pretty rough. I remember my God squad I was bragging about. This is comeuppance, Mitch, just so you know. Like I had a God squad that has Chase, Jefferson, Nico, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, and it is crawling back to 5-2 right now. I was 3-2 with this team to start. That's how it goes, man. All right. Any other questions you see? I think I'm all through the live stream asks, and my throat is.
I think we've hit everything
dry.
I think we're caught up.
Unless
the chat wants to pop off.
I don't have to pee, but I do have to get water. But we'll hit this one. How much do you like having your tight end? Tucker Craft. I'm wondering about tearing down and getting something additional. It's pretty based on format. So tight end premium obviously is big. So like if you have that context added on top of it, I'd be curious to know. Like our Charlie Daddy League, that's start 2 tight end, 0.75 tight end premium. Like tight ends do matter. Like they do matter there. They're hitting our lineup every week.
I have like 8 bad tight ends. Dude,
I got to look at your team, man, because I refuse to look at it just because I feel like it's going to make me sad because you're like 13-1 in this league. Where's this squad? Is this squad overrated?
But I'll pull that up.
I'll pull it up on stream.
I will say, I think the way I like to value tight end is, do I feel comfortable using them in the flex spots? That's really where it comes down. Like if the tight end premium is big enough, right? If it's like 0.75 for full PPR, or 0.5 for half PPR or something like that. Well, like once it becomes a flexible, like I can start this as over Shaheed or someone in my flex spot. Then that's when I'm like, okay, I want to actually kind of shift and have a lot of my flex spots be tight end, because a lot of people are running off of, keep trade cut or whatever out, and they're going to be like, oh, well, these players aren't valuable. And it's like, well, they might not be, but Jonnu Smith is going to score the same amount of points as, your wide receiver too, that you're starting in your flex, because the tight end premium just means the bar for this player to actually do well is so much lower then, this wide receiver has to catch 7 passes and get 50 yards or something.
Yeah.
Like all Jonnu has to do is catch 3 passes, get 30 yards, maybe fall in for a touchdown. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's a good week if there's a tight end premium.
Yeah.
He said start 9 Superflex, no tight end premium, 12 team.
Yeah, the 12 team start 9 is the ideal. No tight end premium is the ideal. Hashtag tight ends don't matter. So like I definitely would be open to trading Kraft. I did just in this same exact format. I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. I bought Gadsden, 12 team start 9, no tight end premium, but it was Brashard Smith, a second, and Jacoby Brissett. Like 12 team start 9, no tight end premium, like seconds. Like I'll make bets for seconds, but like if you can get a first for Kraft and you're like, hey, I'm not getting Kraft upside every week, but let me slot in Zach Ertz. Let me slot in Hunter Henry. Let me slot in, insert gross tight end here. I'd much rather have the first and the upside of using that to tier up in a shallow league to like get to CeeDee Lamb, to get to Chase, whatever, versus feeling like I have a sick tight end.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Not involved in this trade, but wondering your thoughts. Someone swapped Scadaboo for Judkins straight up in half PPR. Which had you taken? I'm probably going Judkins in half PPR. I don't know. I feel like a hater. I like Scadaboo, and I think he's going to maintain this role or this role type. But is there any part of you that's like, man, can the Giants offense, like, is this real? Like, are we gonna look up, and I know they just did this to Denver, 30 plus points. But is there any part of you that's like, a couple weeks into the season, we're going to be like, remember that fun, like, the 3 touchdown crazy games we were getting from Scadaboo?
It kind of reminds me of like watching a less talented McCaffrey in a way, like when with like a bad Panthers team or like the Mac Jones 49ers, where it's like every play just is Scadaboo, like just like let's have his usage be crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what causes me to hesitate is because I don't care if the dude smashes his head against every telephone pole in the city. Getting hit by a bunch of 300-pound linebackers and linemen and all this stuff, like a bunch, is going to wear on your body. So there's no way that like the amount of work he's going to be, like he's going to eventually suffer some sort of injury. And I think that's the concern I would have, just because like his usage is crazy and like he just throws himself at people.
I want to I want to give merit and credit to it. Like the usage conversation is like very similar for these guys, and Scadaboo has, I think, shown more receiving upside. Now it is half PPR. And I think that's part of me leaning into the Judkins side. And obviously I'm talking about, are we buying this with the Giants offense? I mean, hard to buy anything with the Browns offense right now or ever in your life. But I just feel like maybe I'm just a hater. I was about to say, I feel like eye test wise, I feel like Judkins just looks like the better running back, but that just might be some preconceived notions. I'm not willing to buy in.
It's going to be like that Nick Chubb take where you're like, oh, Nick Chubb's a better player, but it's like you look at the fantasy points and it's like the same or in Cam Scadaboo's favor. I mean, I probably would just take Judkins. I think people are going to be higher on him longer term, dynasty wise.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
I feel like
they're kind of the same. Like I would just take whatever side I get the plus on, to be honest.
Like if Scadaboo has 2, like, the game Judkins just had against the Steelers 2 weeks ago, that was like pretty disappointing production. Mm-hmm. Like if Scadaboo has 2 of those, I think people are going to be like, told you so, more than they would be with Judkins. So I'm going to use that as a cop out to say Judkins side.
I do think too, like not that the Browns offense is like amazing, but the Giants offense is just janky. Like I think that's also a factor of it. Like their passing rate's very low. That like it's obviously just like trying to grit out wins more than like the Browns, where it's like a little bit more. You can see like, okay, the running game's good. They just got to figure out the quarterback to kind of open up things in the passing game. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that try to overanalyze it. Like I think that's just kind of the narratives I would see people telling themselves on why to pick Judkins.
For sure. And I mean, Judkins right now, even after what we just talked about production wise, I mean, RB8 on keep trade cut, and Scadaboo is RB14, even after these, 3 touchdown Eagles game. So the people aren't buying it either. Yep. I'm not just a hater. Early 26 first, too much for Trey Benson and Luther Burton. 10 team start, 9 Superflex, no time premium. I think any first I would take versus Trey Benson, Luther Burton in a 10 team start 9. Like I like Burton, and I think there's a run out for Benson to give you like good production for the end of the year, and maybe be a fun offseason conversation of is this his job? But I mean, early first, like Jeremiah Love or Trey Benson and Luther Burton, it's like not even a question.
Especially in a shallow format like this, like it would be, you could maybe
worst
squint
case,
and
it's
be
the
like, okay,
110.
it's a 16 team start 10. Like I need starters, and splitting one player into 2, maybe.
Right? And you're not even. Are you even starting Luther Burton right now? And you're not starting Trey Benson either.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like this is a definitely the first round pick. And typically, especially in a league like this, a 10 team start 9, I'm not trying to split a first round pick into 2 second round caliber players. Like if I'm moving a first round pick, it's going to be, what can I add to this first round pick to go up and get, a Tet and a Egbuka, like a player that like I feel really good about.
Yeah.
You want to be consolidating more.
Yeah, I am with you. All right, I don't have to pee, but I think it's related to my water consumption because my throat's really dry. So I am going to go drink enough water to be able to pee.
You regulated, man.
I'm a big hydration guy.
IV bags next stream.
Huge hydration
IV bags and Gatorade bottles.
Little mini Will lore. My wife and I, we took our wedding announcement pictures. That's not what it's called. Something like that. And I was like telling her
pictures.
Yes, there we go. We were announcing we were engaged.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a wedding at some point in the future. But she's like, Will, stop complaining. The whole day we're like walking around this park, and I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like I don't know, I feel good. She's like, Will, just stop. Like we're taking pictures.
Stop complaining.
And I'm smiling, looking like I'm fine. And I had appendicitis. And also didn't drink enough water, so severely dehydrated with appendicitis. There you go. That's a good outro for the stream. And Jeremy, any any Jeremy lore you want to leave us with, or just
that is definitely riddance. The Will best ball streams type.
There we go. Yeah, that would be happening at the beginning of the stream.
Pull up my phone. I would pull up my phone, and it's just like him watching random videos. I'm like, but yeah,
that's a good video though.
I will say we walked around for our engagement photos. We went to the Raleigh art museum up in Raleigh.
That's North Carolina.
North Carolina, yes. Is the state capital?
Oh, I did not know that.
From third grade.
Okay. Do you know what the do you know what the Michigan state capital is? Or the capital of Michigan?
It's got. Is it Detroit? It's not Detroit, is it?
No.
It's probably.
It is interesting though to get these trivia questions, because I feel stupid when I don't know it for other states, and then obviously it's your own state. You want a hint?
I don't even know off the top.
The only way you would be able to know would be sports related, sports adjacent.
Sports adjacent.
And college.
That's what, to me, if they have a sports team, was it I don't know.
Becca says you loved walking around that field. Don't.
No, even. I did. I was gonna say I had a fun time. I was gonna say it was a fun afternoon.
Nice.
My shoes hurt a little bit, but nothing was bad. It was nice and cool out. We had the photographer. Everything went well, and those pictures turned out pretty solid.
Nice.
So.
My appendicitis pictures turned out pretty good too, I will say. I don't think I have any on me right now. I do have one in my wallet. I don't know if my wife would like me showing my appendicitis picture in the No, we'll do it. She looks beautiful in this. Look at that. Oh wow. Just married. Dang.
Yeah, you
don't tell her I did that.
You should get an Oscars. You get an Oscar for
my appendicitis
pulling it together. Appendicitis.
That's like a I think you should leave skit.
That's your Jordan
or something.
Flu game.
He has appendicitis
that really is.
during this. Have you started
dude, come on, man.
The chair company his new show?
No, it's on my to-do list. I still need to watch the Paul Rudd movie he did too.
Oh, the French Friendship
or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't finish that
But
either.
yeah, I need to watch those. My friends went to see Friendship in theaters.
Oh.
At what time? Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
What? Traders.
I think it was like our second or third stream. And
oh yeah, that did come out a little bit ago. Yeah, they weren't sure if the Dynasty Day trade show was.
They're like, yeah, they're like, we don't know if this is gonna last.
I will say the first two were pretty rough. The sound stuff. Going back to those. Oh, Will was real. I felt so bad. I was real self-conscious about the sound quality of the first couple streams. That was brutal. I had robot voice for one of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, the robot voice is kind of a throwback sometimes.
No, but I fixed it. I fixed it again. So I'm not self-conscious anymore. Also been watching some self-help TikToks. That helps. All right. Appreciate you guys. Much love. Make that trade. Patty Mills, we were talking to you. If you watch this long, make that trade, get that running back on your team, and send out that offer, guys. You know it'll make your team better. Why not just knock on the door? Worst thing they can say is LMAO, what a terrible trade, and they post to the league, and everyone talks about how stupid you are. Great stream again. Thanks. I appreciate it. Much love. Yeah. Peace out. Catch you on the flip side. Once I find the outro.
Shouts Justin.
I muted Jeremy, but he said shout outs Justin. So
I
unmuted.
JTech. He's always retweeting my tweets and all that stuff. So gotta give him a shout out.
Let's go. Can't wait to hear this back when I end the stream.